comes to dentures, there are many digital workflows that can be applied, and many of them revolve around scanning an actual denture. And whether that's for a copy denture or for a relined denture, the principles will be much the same. We need to scan the denture. As I said, there's many workflows involve scanning the patient, scanning the arch, using dentures to capture the bite and so on. But just for this video, I just want to focus on the details surrounding scanning an actual denture. So in this case, I have a 3D printed denture, and we're going to scan the full occlusal surface and of course the fitting surface as well. So I'm going to use the Shining Aoralscan 3 to do this, no particular reason. The same principle applies across all Shining products, and workflows exist in other scanners as well. So it's not exclusive to this particular product. So I'm opening a prescription here for patient Mark Barry. I'm specifying that it's a removable denture, and we will select full denture and click on any tooth on the upper arch, and software identifies that it's a full arch for a full denture. Software does require us to specify the bite record type. So again, this is if we were following a full workflow, well, we'd be very specific about what we're going to do here. So if there was a natural occlusion, we could capture, we'd use that. The bite rim, we can actually scan the whole bite rim and align the arches on the basis of that. In this case, selecting the old denture for the bite. And we click on scan, and the software brings us through to the next stage. So it's expecting us to carry out 2 stages of scanning on the upper arch, to scan the upper jaw and the old denture, scan the lower jaw and capture the bite. So I'm just going to scan the upper jaw of the old denture. We're now ready to scan the denture in full. And because we've selected that we're scanning a denture, the software has identified it's a denture. Of course, it's going to be extraoral, and of course, we're not scanning. We don't need any of the scan assist or intelligent scan functionalities enabled. So, if we did, for whatever reason, that's our intelligent scan on, but of course, we want to make sure that it's turned off. So we are ready to go. So, like any scanning, as we would have talked about before, it's always really important to get a good fundamental scan, and that fundamental scan is the occlusal scan. So we'll start off capturing the occlusal surface, and we'll work our way around the arch, a little bit of rocking around the incisors, and then we'll roll over and we'll capture the lingual surfaces. Now, what's really important that we bear in mind here is that the scanners like to work in an incremental manner. What I mean by that is it likes to add on to data that is already there. So we're starting occlusal, we roll over, we scan the palatal surface of the teeth, then we scan the buccal surface of the teeth. Now I'm going to gradually build up that buccal detail, and we can gradually build up the palatal detail as well. And we'll work our way, sweeping from side to side and staying very tuned in with what's happening with the software, and particularly on the palatal surface, because it's such as the language I like to use is it's a bland surface, there's very little detail on it. It can be very easy for the software to lose track. So I'm just going to pause there just for a moment, only just to talk, so we can talk about what we've got on screen. So you can see, captured pretty much everything there. I was holding the denture via the sides, and we can see, of course, my fingers have appeared there. And that's okay, it's perfectly fine, because the reason I wanted to say that is that I'm going to reposition my grip. And there's no specific rule to this, but I am going to reposition my grip. So I'm holding the scanner like so, in fact, probably like so that I can hold the scanner and the model relative to each other, and I can scan and continue scanning without actually scanning my thumb. So we're going to start off again picking up on a surface where the software recognizes. So you can actually I've missed a little bit in there. We'll carry on with that, and we roll over a buckle, and we just get that edge and work our way around the edge of the denture, and gradually add on to what was previously there. And be very gradual. Once we've got that edge, then we can continue on and continue to scan the fitting surface. And from time to time, we might see little kind of scarring patterns like what we just saw there a moment ago, but that's okay. The software will generally fix itself. And now we're getting into the territory where my finger is, and I'm going to reposition my grip. I can turn around, and now I can continue to focus on the back end of the denture. And it's a healthy exercise just to rock and roll around the edges there, just to stitch them up together, give the software the most amount of information you can. And you'll see from time to time, if it does recognize that it did have a stitching error, this is the great way to correct it. What's interesting here, there that we see this, but the current frame count is close to the limit. So the software does expect us to finish the scan within 2,500 images. Sorry, within 3,000 images. So you can see here on screen, we're at 2,500, and it's giving us a message to say we can continue scanning another 500 images. Do you want to stop now? And in this case, I'm going to say no, because I want to make a call on that. I just want to make sure that we've captured everything. And of course, you can see some little artifacts of finger there that will go. Missed a little bit there on the labial aspect. So we'll go back in and rescan that, make sure we've captured it. Wonderful. I'm going to finish scanning. Software will process the data. And at this point then, if we need to remove any additional material, we can remove isolated data. And there we go. And of course, if we need to trim and delete and rescan, we're more than welcome to do that. And we can turn the texture off. And again, it gives us really good, comfortable and confident indication that everything is scanned as it should be. And even if we look along the back surface there of the denture, and hopefully we can pick it up on the camera as well, you can see that there is a detail there, and the software has picked that up. And once we're done with that, we finish the process, and then of course we go on and proceed with scanning the next stage of the workflow. But as I said, just for this particular demonstration, I just wanted to focus on scanning the denture. So again, just the key point to remember is be incremental. Start with a good foundation, get the teeth done, occlusal, buccal, palatal, and then gradually build up from there, and then roll over onto the fitting surface as well. And try to maintain your grip and then adjust it as and when is needed. So hopefully you found that useful and informative. And as always, any questions, please do reach out to the support team at support@esmdigitalsolutions.com. Thanks and goodbye.